Welcome to another episode of the Loafing Around podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things Pokemon, and each week I am joined by a unique guest that is known in the Pokemon community, be it a VGC player, game analyst, TCG player, or Pokemon theorist, and so on, to hang out with them and ask them some questions about their passions, opinions, and experiences within the Pokemon franchise. I am your host, SB, a longtime Pokemon fan and a Pokemon content creator. Today, I am joined by a Pokemon content creator that covers not only the Pokemon anime, but also focuses on what ifs and predictions, and super impressively, his own Pokemon region filled with his own Fakemon with amazing designs. This creator is truly infamous when it comes to Pokemon content creation, and I cannot wait for you to meet him. And we're back. Welcome to the show, the incredibly talented, infamous trainer. Thanks for joining me today, and how are you doing?
I am doing great, man. I'm glad to be here. I know we have some really cool topics and stuff to dive into, but I'm super excited. I got some French toast in me, and I'm ready to rip.
Bro, French toast always hits the spot, though, for real.
Oh, it's so good. Breakfast, I gotta say, breakfast is probably one of the best times to eat. Probably some of the best food that you get all day. I mean, lunch is a great contender, maybe even dinner, but I'm a big breakfast fan personally.
And breakfast food is just always good. You can eat it for lunch or supper or dinner, whatever you want to call it, and it's just so good every single time. Like I had breakfast food for lunch today because I was just like, man, it just sounds so good.
I mean, it is a wide selection. If you want something savory, you got that. If you want the sweet, you got, you have options. I'm a sucker. If I'm not looking to cook a big thing, a simple egg sandwich gets you a long way. So
100%, 100%.
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, Infamous has a ton of variety to his work. He's involved not only in his own projects, but also involved in a larger group called the Pokemon Champions League. Infamous, do you kind of want to tell us a little bit more about your channel or, your podcast, things like that?
Yeah, I'll kind of just start with praising the bros first. The Pokemon Champion League. Shout out to all those amazing content creators. That's JPR, Neous Trainer Zach, Hybrid Hero, and the PokeRaf. Kind of bring in different aspects of the Pokemon community together, because obviously we all kind of like the Pokemon anime. Some of us dabble more than others, but then you have great trivia and facts from JPR. You got the pretty good theory crafting from Raf, and just like those hard stone, high quality videos from Zach. You kind of have the art side and some Fakemon and other Pokemon things for myself. And then Hybrid Hero is just kind of whatever he's feeling at the moment, which kind of makes him really spontaneous. So I think that's really, really cool. And we have a great time over there talking about, the pre-podcast stuff of food and life and broken desk and whatever we can, down to, what's our favorite Pokemon, and then me popping off about how Chikorita is garbage, so it's always a good time over there on the on the Champion League. So yeah, we have a fantastic, those guys are awesome. As for myself, yeah, I mean, Infamous trainer, I just kind of do right now more dabbling into the Pokemon anime side of it. The content has been really great. I found a flow that I enjoy, and the Pokemon anime is while it is popping off better than it has before, it's still not the best it could be, because Journeys is a hot topic of how good it is. So,
absolutely.
Some people think it's better than it is. I kind of just like to get my general ideas out, or I'll have just quick bursts that I drop with the shorts. But right now I'm in a section of just theory crafting with the new Pokemon games coming out, Scarlet and Violet. I feel like we have so much new potential for potentially Ash or a new character when it comes to the anime. But I've just been pushing that. And of course, in between that, you guys will get the Neous Region content, which I think we'll dive into a little bit further in the future here. But yeah,
absolutely.
Just making content, making as much as I can anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it's something about your reactions, I guess. Like, you get so hype whenever you're watching the Anapoke stuff. I love it so much. I'm just like, that was my first introduction to your channel, actually. Was kind of clicking in and seeing your one of your reactions. I think it was to the Legends, like to the Arceus like mini segment they had, like little mini series.
Mm.
And I was like, this dude gets hype. I love this. And I was like, absolute sub. This guy's great.
Yeah, that's interesting. I always wonder what brings and attracts people to my channel personally, because I know that if you go back to the very beginning of my channel, I was not even creating this channel as something that I wanted to do a lot. I created this Pokemon channel, Infamous Trainer, the persona, the character, the person behind the content. As just something to do in my free time. I always enjoyed Pokemon, but I had another channel that I was really pursuing and pushing more superhero related game titles on and things like Hogwarts Legacy and whatnot, which I'm super excited about. But Pokemon just took off. I kind of did a couple reactions and theory crafts myself of Pokemon Journeys early on when we were still calling it Pokemon 2019. Didn't even have a name yet. We were just still calling
Yeah.
it Pokemon 2019, and the reaction started to pick up and stuff like that. And then, of course, Pokemon Sword and Shield came out. I was streaming those games a lot. So it's kind of weird when you go back to the beginning of the channel. And my channel's only like 3 years old. I think this year makes 3 years. I was just kind of doing whatever I felt, which was great. I feel like that's fine. But I definitely found a niche and I found kind of the flow of what content I wanted to do. And of course, for a section of time, I did the regions. And I know a lot of people found me for the region videos. So that's why I thought it was interesting you found me for reactions, because I feel like a lot of people come from recently the Legend Celebi videos, the older Leweka region review and stuff like that. So that's interesting.
Your region reviews are super good though. I definitely went back and watched it, especially the like you said, the Legend Celebi one. Like that art was fantastic. But again, it was your like genuine reaction to it that like really sells it. I feel like your reaction to the Fakemon designs, to the region designs, the overall ideas of these regions is what like sells your channel. It's like your genuine reaction, like your happiness, I feel like is what sells it.
Yeah, I really try to, and it always kind of bugs me a little when people are like, oh, like fake react. I'm like, bro, I don't have time for fake reaction. Like, I really want to be one and done. Call this a day. Especially with the region ones, what I do is I'll either pair with my girlfriend or I'll pair with a friend, and they'll get me. I'm like, hey, this is the region I'm doing. I don't want to see majority of these Pokemon. Grab all the pictures, compress it into a WinRAR 7, whatever, just compress the file. And then what I'll do is I'll extract it, I'll open it the day of recording, right? And then I'll just go off the cuff. I don't get to really see most of these Pokemon beforehand. It is exciting for me. So that way I can really like give a genuine reaction. Cause I feel like when I've seen other people do it in the past, if they've ever done anything even close to that style of content, because I wasn't seeing many people do it either. I know people were like doing almost like a Fakemon slideshow. Like they would just show the Fakemon for you to look at. But I'm like, I want to add a little something else to it. Like I like Fakemon. I think this is really cool. Why just do a slideshow and smack a monetization on it? That's just not right. I want to actually give you guys some content with it. So that's when I came up with the idea of, hey, getting someone to compress it, get me all the pictures that they can find and make sure everything is complete, and just give you genuine reactions as I'm seeing it for the first time. That is literally my reaction. I'm like, okay, this is dope, or okay, this could be better. Like I'm reading the name for the first time, I'm looking at it for the first time. I don't know the typings, I don't know the background. I'm just enjoying the Fakemon as we go. Yeah, I just as genuine as I can be.
Yeah, I honestly think that comes across like whenever the newest trailer, the third trailer for Scarlet and Violet came out, everyone was live. My take on this, and I went to YouTube. I was like, who's showing this live? And I saw you were showing it live. Immediately clicked on yours because I was like, oh man, his reactions are gonna be lit to this. I'm in. Like I was so excited that you were recording. I was like, he's covering this. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, I love doing reactions. For one, it's an easy form of content for me to get done, and I feel like I do bring some kind of just antics to it. I know I'm usually gasping or I'm yelling or I'm getting hype, or if I don't like it, I mean I'm like I just don't love it. I know actually in that recent reaction for the latest Scarlet Violet trailer, a lot of people comment wise was not thrilled that I didn't love the terrestrial phenomenon immediately, which I'm like, come on, like you can't just expect me to like it off the rip. I'm like, hey, everything else was good. It's just this is such a different thing from Dynamaxing. And then if you go back to other content creators, they didn't love Dynamaxing at first. It's all
Absolutely not.
opinionated, but yeah, just try to bring like a good presence. I'm very hopeful. I have very low expectations when it comes to the Pokemon anime and Pokemon as a franchise. I'm not as I would say I wouldn't cover these as much as like other content creators in the past. Like there's people who's been covering Pokemon games for 10 years. And I'm like, I'm just three
Absolutely.
years in and just kind of react to it when I can. My expectations aren't high because it's Pokemon, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but as long as if the design is cool, the Pokemon has a cool typing, or the theming's great, I'm kind of just already liking it. Like Impidimp, even though we only saw it for a brief minute back in the day in that
Oh yeah.
ridiculous 24-hour stream.
Yep. Yep.
I was like, this Pokemon is super dope. And a lot of people really didn't like Impidimp's design. Getting up to Grimmsnarl, as soon as I actually saw the leaked image of him first. I immediately saw Grimmsnarl. I was like, this is on the team. No matter what else I'm gonna do in Pokemon Sword and Shield, I'm gonna find this Pokemon. I'm gonna add it to the team, and I did. So yeah, I just try to bring as much genuine reaction to any content that I do reaction wise, because I feel like if you're faking it, people can kind of tell. And I want to bring as much realism in my genuine, like, hey, this is my thoughts and my opinions on this. And you can agree or disagree. That's totally fine. Everyone has their own opinions, but I want to deliver that as much genuine reaction as I can versus me having like, got to record this. Maybe I saw it this morning. Now I got to record it for reaction. It's not even like if it's the views aren't a huge thing to me. Obviously views are great, but I want to make sure I deliver a genuine reaction. I feel like people notice that, 9 times out of 10, hopefully.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people faking it on YouTube. Wow, my reaction to this thing that I've already seen 3 times, and it's like way over exaggerated. You might have a lot of emotion or expression to how you're reacting to it, but it's genuine. You're genuinely excited for Fido or whatever comes up on the screen. And like you said, you're genuine in the sense that you'll say you won't like that. I don't like that, and that's fine. Everyone has their own taste, but
Yeah.
you're also one of the first people to be really excited for it. I feel like, like when you see it and you like it, you're in. You know what I mean? Like you said, you saw Grimmsnarl, he's on the team. Like you were that excited about it.
Immediate. And people hated Grimmsnarl at first. I mean, everyone has their opinion, but this is honestly one of the coolest Pokemon to date. And then you drop the G-Max form. Oh, top tier. Top. It easily became a top 5 Pokemon for me after that. I was like, yeah, it's up there with the likes of my Infernape, Electivire. Like, come on. That's a top tier mod. But
Grimmsnarl absolutely slaps, and the like idea of like being covered in hair and like the hair being able to reach out and grab things, like it was a good use of fairy tale elements in a fairy Pokemon, and it was so good. The dark fairy typing
yeah,
and that Gmax. Oh, if you're a Gurren Lagann fan, I feel like you were just like you were in on that. Like you were. That was me at least. Like I was like the drill to pierce the heavens. Look at this guy. Like I am in.
yeah, I feel like that's one big part of it. I know we'll kind of touch on it here soon. Was just design and presence of having a Pokemon that is a dark fairy type that doesn't have to be a super cutesy or food based Pokemon. Was just it's refreshing, and it comes with a super cool just design. It's very abstract. Some parts are rounded, some parts are pointy, and then it just kind of grows and builds. And I think just transitioning wise, it definitely fits a lot. Obviously, the switch to the greens and stuff like that once you hit Grimmsnarl is a little bit different. But I mean, if you don't like it, just get the shiny. Grimmsnarl shiny is top tier. It is one
It
of
is.
my. It's
It is.
probably actually my favorite shiny now. So I'm like,
Ooh, there you go.
like this Pokemon is. It's just worked its way into my top. It's done great. So yeah, I love
No,
Grimmsnarl.
absolutely. Grimmsnarl slapped, and like I know that this is where that part of the name comes from too. But like it does have like the typing, but the darker fairy tale elements. So it's not like you said, it's not just food, it's not just a princessy type thing or magic. It's the dark side of fairy tales, like the Brothers Grimm, like their
Yep.
style. And obviously that plays into the name and the typing, but it was just so good and refreshing to see that. I like Grimmsnarl a lot. One of the best Galar Pokemon.
Oh yeah, hands down. Galar did really well. I feel like a lot of people don't really appreciate what Galar brought. I'm like, Galar brought a lot of good Pokemon over, interesting typings, good designs, like just a lot of stuff. Like I honestly I don't think we've done it on the Champions League. But at some point, I know we're probably going to do like our personal top favorite. Well, no, we did talk about Pokemon games. I put
Hmm.
I put Sword and Shield pretty high. I honestly probably put as a combination Sword and Shield in my top three because I've personally played through Galar. I think with my Ash playthrough that I'm doing right now, just in my free time, I have 6 playthroughs total with Sword and Shield. Just enjoying the region, the Pokemon, the different team structures. I've used all 3 of the starters, brought in starters from other regions and used those instead. Like I love Galar. It's a great region, great Pokemon. They really did well. Obviously, there's things to fix. There's always things to fix with any game, but
Absolutely.
it definitely is like a nice topper spot for me for sure.
Yeah, I definitely put it up there, more higher than I feel like a lot of people do. But like you said, it's the typings of the game Pokemon and the designs of the Pokemon in Galar are so good. They're one off without being too far away from Pokemon. Like they're unique and they take in interesting elements like Dragapult taking in, the fighter jet
Yeah,
motif and like nailing that so well, like, using its pre-evolved forms as the missiles. Like it was just far enough off without leaving, the realm of Pokemon, which is so good, so refreshing. I love it.
yeah, it's good stuff. Galar is definitely reaching up there, but Paldea is looking like it may bring some of the best Pokemon yet. I don't
I think
know.
we're gonna get some clean designs in Paldea. Like we already have. Like I like Titan a lot. I think Fido's fun. There's so many good designs, but I think we're gonna get some more. And there probably might be one even before this releases on on the 22nd. So
Oh
because
yeah,
I think on the
that's
21st they're talking about a new
a new
trailer.
trailer.
So
Yeah, yeah. I so funny enough about that, and obviously if this comes out after, I stayed up the night of the opening ceremony. So that's roughly about 2 or 3 o'clock my time, AM. I stayed up. I saw the opening ceremony. Oh, welcome to the Pokemon World Championship. Blah blah blah. Then he comes out and he's like, "Hey, how's it going? We have some fantastic news talking about some upcoming Pokemon games." I'm like, "Let's go!" I had the
yeah,
I had the camera up, I had the mic ready, OBS is flowing, and then he shows off like the great announcement of Ash being an actual playable character in Masters. That's fantastic. Glad that we can have more anime specific characters into Pokemon Masters. That really opens up the floodgates for characters like Alon and many others to possibly join in, which would be
absolutely.
really cool. But then he baited us. He was like, "Oh yeah, we have something great for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but you guys will learn at the end." I'm like, "Bro, you just baited us. Don't do this." But yeah, I guess the rumor right now is, for me, I think that's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning or the day of the ending ceremony. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm gonna be up bright and early. God, Nintendo has us up so early with news. Like just
Yeah. America does have to get up early. Like it's me. I'm like, oh man, like this. The timing is so bad. I'm either like up early or heading to work, and I'm like, oh come on, right as I'm heading to work, we're gonna start this.
that's the part that definitely sucks. I know right now I'm in a position where I do work from home, so it's a little bit easier for me to do a quick recording. Luckily, the trailers aren't too long, but sometimes I'm like, bro, it's once the trailer drops 6 a.m. for me. Oh, come on. Like
Yeah,
just so much,
absolutely.
but it's fine. It's fine. I'm always excited for Pokemon news. As soon as I get a little bit of coffee in me, I'm hyping, trying not to yell too much because other people in my house are sleeping. But
Yeah.
trying to still bring the hype as much as I can early in the morning.
Absolutely. It's easy to get hyped for this. So, if you're listening to this on Monday or Tuesday, I'm super excited about whatever news we got. So hopefully it turned out great. I'm sure we
Hopefully,
got some new Pokemon.
I'm hoping if this is true, and I guess since they're saving it for the end, I know this is like a routinely thing that they always show a Pokemon trailer during the ceremony, which is crazy. We're getting 2 trailers in 1 month, which I guess is kind of needed since we kind of had a gap where we didn't get anything. And I'm guessing this is the reason why.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm hoping for minimum 5 new Pokemon. I
Ooh,
personally,
5. Wow.
I am reaching a little bit, but I think 5 new Pokemon and at least 1 or 2 of them should be a regional form, personally, at the very least, or the champion reveal. You can scale back some Pokemon if I get the champion reveal, if there is a champion. I know the champion rank thing was a little bit weird. So I don't know how that like structure works with us having Elite Four and then the rank assessment stuff like that. But I want to see some Pokemon. Like I want to see some new stuff, something that'll knock my socks off. Because I know you mentioned that you enjoyed the Titan, right? You like the design of that
Yes,
Pokemon.
yeah. I
I
like it.
I am not in love with it. It's like
You are not the only one. It's okay.
it's not bad, but it's just and I said this in the podcast with the Champion League. When
Yeah.
I saw it, it looks like an AI generated Pokemon to me. That's just maybe it's just because it has the shape. I swear that I've seen it in the AI Pokemon generated with a similar body shape and the
Yeah.
spikes
Yeah.
coming out. It just throws you off a little bit. So I'm really hoping this is a Pokemon that has a pre-Evo, because it definitely kind of when I initially saw it, I was like, oh, this is like another Duraludon. This is what I'm thinking. Like this is another Duraludon, not a bad Pokemon, but with the Pokemon being a Steel and Dragon type from Duraludon and Galar, it should have been better. But
Yeah,
still not
I
bad.
agree.
Still not bad. So hopefully, Titan is going to be a good Pokemon. I will say though, I am excited to see, and I'm hoping for this. I haven't heard any confirmation. I don't follow any leaks or anything, but I personally am hoping that Pokemon sizes come back, because if I can find like an alpha size to Titan, I will catch it. That
Yeah,
just sounds
100%,
epic,
100%.
So yeah, it's an interesting Pokemon. I want them to drop a banger. I want my socks to fly off my feet mid recording. I want, like, as I'm reacting, you see 2 socks fly off in the background. That's literally what I want to
That'd be
happen.
great props.
Oh man.
I'm thinking that we're getting the types of the legendaries. I feel like we're finally going to get that revealed, and 2 Pokemon. That would be my guess. Would be 2 new Pokemon, just enough.
Two?
They'd be like, I just don't. I hope for 5 so badly,
That
but
would
I
be
don't think
so
we're getting
cool.
it.
When I decided to do it, I've been since I knew that we were gonna have, once the first trailer dropped for Scarlet and Violet, I went back to Sword and Shield and I went back and looked at all their trailers and I kind of seen like where things line up, and they actually are doing a really similar-esque style of trailer releases like Sword and Shield. So about
Okay.
this time, they should be revealing at least 3 new Pokemon, and the Evil Team is based off the equivalent to Sword and Shield trailers. So maybe that's what we'll see. That's like the realistic thing, I guess. Should be 3 new Pokemon,
Yeah.
and then possibly, funny enough, the same time around this spec of area, but for Sword and Shield, the trailer they dropped was for brand new Pokemon abilities, brand new Pokemon moves, and that kind of would make sense with the Pokemon World Championship. I think the trailer for Sword and Shield was like "Get ready for battle" or something like that. So it showed off like new unique abilities of the Gigantamax forms. It showed off new Pokemon moves for certain Pokemon, change abilities for Pokemon. So I feel like the most realistic answer might be a trailer like that instead, where they're showing off new Pokemon moves, maybe some typings and abilities.
Yeah, that would
So
be. I'd be down for that too. Speaking of Pokemon typings, though, I'm curious how moves or abilities like Libero, Protean, and Adaptability are going to work with the Terastal phenomenon. Because like the Eevee that gets the normal Terastal plus Adaptability, I'm like, man, that's gonna slap.
that's cracked. That's cracked. That's too much. That is a great question. I feel like Protean and like Libero. Well, first, I feel like Cinderace isn't coming back. I don't feel like any Galar
No,
Pokemon
a
is,
hard doubt.
unfortunately.
Hard doubt.
Right? Which does leave Pokemon like is that Kecleon or is that Smeargle with Protean? I
Kek,
forget.
so Greninja has Protean, and then believe I believe Kecleon has it as a secondary ability after
Okay.
color change.
So, I feel like out of the 2, Greninja seems like the strongest to come back personally, because
Been forever.
Struck, for one, it's been a while, right? I would love to. I have a Battle Bond Greninja sitting in my Pokemon home right now, ready to
Absolutely.
wreak some havoc. It'd be great to see him in the new shading style and possibly just running around the region behind me in the open world. Oh,
so good, so good.
so that'd be fantastic. But I'm kind of just looking at it to where Kalos, real world counterpart, they should be close to each other. I know some people have made the theory like Kalos should be super close to Paldea because it's based off Spain and stuff like that. So I feel like we should get them back in the game. And like, I was telling Zach this. I was like, bro, imagine a team. You have Fuecoco on it and a Froakie. Like, it just sounds great.
Team. That is a clean team.
So that would be super cool to see and to kind of bring forward. But yeah, the abilities are a little bit weird. Protean changes a lot, especially if this is. I think the only way they could do it is if it. Well, adaptability doesn't change that though, because I guess with the Protean it overrides it. I guess you could say like if you use Terastal, it overrides Protean or at least
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
time being or whatever. But for adaptability, yikes! I don't know. That one's
That's
a
gonna slap.
little.
Like every time I see that Eevee with a little crystal on its head, I'm like, if that thing has adaptability, that thing's gonna be a monster.
It's gonna be a pain. I feel like the only other way would be switching out abilities and changing abilities, and maybe that might be a reason is like, oh, we're not bringing back Greninja. That doesn't fix it for Eevee in that situation either.
Yeah, Eevee's already in the game. Like guaranteed, Eevee's in the game. Like
Because it's also cracked if you think of a Pokemon like if Shedinja comes back, right? We don't know any
absolutely.
confirmation, but Wonder Guard with a Terrastal, you just make sure you choose the proper typing. It's over.
Yeah,
Like it's
absolutely,
done. This
100%.
thing is cracked to like everything. Like let's just say, for example, you change it normal, unless you have a fighting type. This thing is like that's screwed. Like it's just super powerful.
Yeah,
So it's interesting.
electric and give it the air balloon. Air balloon as an
That
item. I mean, that thing's gone. No weakness. No
that's crazy.
weakness.
That's crazy. Like that is I can kind of see, and this is where I'm kind of guessing Scarlet Violet's going. They're really pushing the bounds of competitive play because this right here is going to have the competitive scene different because you're changing types. When you add items on, that even does even more crazy things. Like that has people searching for like, hey, maybe I want a Magikarp that has a Terrastal grass typing so I can use it for like Terrastal Gyarados like that'd be kind of crazy to have as
Oh
another
yeah.
option. There's just a lot of strategic things you can do with this brand new gimmick. So I'm excited and a little bit worried about how this is going to play out, but excited nonetheless for sure.
It'll either widen the meta a lot or make the meta really narrow. We'll just
Yeah,
have to see which way it's gonna go.
which makes me super scared for Pokemon that are already really really good. But I guess it could be great for fixing up Pokemon that may be a little bit rougher or they really really lose because of their typing. I know a lot of people love Hydreigon, but obviously with it being a dark and dragon, when a fairy comes around, the Moonblast is gone. So having the ability to maybe switch it to a different typing, or maybe it has like Flash Cannon, you switch on over
Steel
to
type.
a Steel, that makes it a monster. Just boom right there. So there's some options. There's some great plays you can do here. And I personally see how this could work for the anime too. Just saying that as well, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Super excited to see Pikachu get the flying type because I'm that's absolutely gonna happen. If that's already the pre-order bonus and everything, easy, done. Ash's
I'm
Pikachu is gonna become flying type.
I'm curious to know kind of how that works with Ash's Pokemon. I honestly would not mind if Pikachu gets nothing. Just being honest, because
No,
I
no,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like we're at a point now too with Ash's Pikachu. There's not much you can do moveset wise that I think is really going to improve it, unless the new flying type move is something bonkers. Like Air Striker. I don't know something that's going to fit Pikachu because I think the moveset currently, and I know people love Volt Tackle. Like, oh, bring Volt Tackle back, bring Volt Tackle.
yeah, yeah.
Personally, I say give it extreme speed. Just break the
That'd
game.
be
Just
great.
just give it extreme speed. It's already the fastest Pokemon, one of the fastest he owns. But I feel like with Quick Attack, Iron Tail, Thunderbolt, and Electro Web, he has a pretty solid moveset. Electro Web, even though people didn't like it at first, is one of his best kind of improvising moves. He can use it as a trap. He can use it to bounce off of. He has
I like it.
so many options.
Yeah, I'm super curious about it because the pre-order Pikachu is going to have the move Fly. They already said to give it that Terrastal gimmick too. So like if they somehow make Ash's Pikachu learn Fly, I'm curious to see how they implement that in the anime.
That is going to be probably one of the most interesting things. And as long as they make it work, I guess it's fine. But we'll just have to see how that works, I guess.
He moves so fast straight up into the air that he's just able to climb on air particles.
Oh my goodness, they honestly might pull something like that out, out of nowhere. But the writers for the Pokemon anime recently been just doing all kind of craziness. So
Alrighty. So for the next segment, in case you don't know how it's going to work, I'm going to ask you 5 trivia questions. I don't want you to answer them right now, though. We're going to
okay.
wait until the end for your answers so that way the listeners have a chance to think about it. You have a chance to think about it because your questions are all going to be about Pokemon forms.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, yeah. You have such good design ideas with Pokemon. I was like, how can I implement that? And I was like, oh, let's do some forms. Pokemon different forms. Let's see. Let's test them a little bit.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. You think you're ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let me hear them and let me ponder on them as we go.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty. Question 1. In Generation 3, we are introduced to a very cool Pokemon named Castform. Including its normal form, how many forms does it have? Feel pretty good about that one?
I think so. I haven't seen cast form in so long.
Trying to think now.
That's interesting. Yeah, I know two for sure,
Okay,
but
there you go. There you go.
that's interesting. Okay, okay, we'll see. Yeah, yeah. Continue, continue.
Alrighty. Question 2. What are the names of Shellos and Gastrodon's two forms? That's a little Pokéraf question for you there.
Okay. Hope that can make Raph proud.
I know, right? A little Slug Lord question. Alrighty, question 3. There are 4 forms of Rotom that are not usable by the player character in battle. Name 2 of the 4 forms.
Okay, okay, I got that. I got that.
Being in the anime, you kind of have a little bit of a boost there, I feel
Yeah,
like. You've
yeah,
seen a lot in the
yeah.
anime, so yeah, yeah. Question 4. The mythical Pokemon Shaman can unlock a unique form known as Sky Form when exposed to a certain flower. What is the name of that flower?
Ooh, that's a good one. Cause that.
There
Okay,
you go.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah. If I know my infamous lore correctly, you like Sinnoh quite a bit, right?
I am. I am a Sinnoh fan. That is
That's
my
why I'm like, you're the
favorite.
Sinnoh guy, right? You're the Cynthia guy, you're the Burnape guy, Electivire.
Oh man, yeah, that is okay. Okay, that was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you ready for question 5?
Yeah,
Alrighty, so this is going to be our guest question. It's a question that I made specifically for you. It's a pretty tough one. You wanna hear it?
yeah. What you got?
Alrighty. In a newly discovered Pokemon region called the Neos region, there is a dark type Pokemon that can evolve into 5 different Pokemon based on which totem it holds from the region. What is the name of that dark type Pokemon?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Honestly, and briefly touching on that, one of my favorite Pokemon in the region. Very versatile.
Absolutely. It's such a good design. I love the design. That's like my favorite video out of your Pokemon Calamity videos so far. That's the one I think I've watched that video all the way through, I think 3 times, just because the Pokemon in it, the art is so good. I'm like, these Pokemon in this video slap.
Hey, I'm super proud of that video, and more to come. I got yeah. We'll touch on that here. I know soon, so I'll save it. I'll save it.
Yeah, absolutely. So how do you feel about those questions? How do you feel about them? You
I,
think you got some?
I feel like most of them I got. There's one or two that was like, okay, just you gotta dip in the mind archives a little bit, try to remember some of
Exactly,
these. But
exactly. That's
for
why I
the
want to
most
give you a
part,
bit of a gap.
yeah, yeah.
Alrighty. So before we move on to our next segment, that last question was about a region called the Neos region. Someone, a super talented artist and creator, has come up with. I think his name was Infamous Trainer. Would
Oh,
you like to touch on that a little bit? Kind of your Neos, your Calamity game
yes.
that you're making? Yeah.
So the Neos region Pokemon Calamity, I actually have been working on it since I moved to my current state that I'm living, being Utah. So at a point in my life when I was staying with my uncle, he had really shoddy internet. I mean, to the point where like my Netflix could barely load, and Netflix takes like
Oof.
no data. All right.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, I'm like, well, I want to do something to free, to use my creative juices. I couldn't make content like I could at that point in time. So I'm like, all right, what can I do? Boom. And I started watching videos on like RPG Maker, specifically by a content creator named by Thundaga. And he makes like different Pokemon fan games and like quick games and guides on how to make games. So I bought RPG Maker XP and I started crafting the Neos region very early on. And the concept originally was just going to be a region where you can use every starter. At that point, we didn't have Sword and Shield. So it was, Gen 1 through 7.
Yeah.
And you just explore this region, you find new characters, and there actually wasn't that much background on it. Only thing that I had at that point was the starting town, the first 3 routes that I actually did myself in RPG Maker. There's a lot of incomplete things, and Professor Oak was still there, but the concept and the general seed idea was there. And then, of course, as I kind of started doing YouTube and more content creation, I obviously started covering the other regions from other artists, amazing artists. And I was like, wow, man, I love seeing these Pokemon. I have some new cool ideas, some Pokemon typings. I want to put them to paper. I want to make them. I want to have my own region. Like, don't get me wrong. I love talking about everybody's regions. They're fantastic. But like, I would love to do my own. So yeah, I really did some research for a few weeks. I'm like, cool, if I'm gonna start this, first I was going to go the route of just paying someone to make all my art through and through, call it a day. I got some numbers back from people about, everything that I needed, and it was in a couple thousands area. And I said,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, yeah, no. So I instead decided to invest my time and my skills into drawing. So I'm not new to drawing or anything. I used to draw a lot in high school. All 4 years of high school, I took art, so all the way from beginner to advanced. I enjoyed it. I cleared every single class with an A every single year. I enjoyed making art. I think my folder had like a picture of like a Growlithe that I drew on it, really clean looking Growlithe and everything.
Oh, there you go.
So I was always a fan of Pokemon. I wanted to incorporate that, and I did that even with school back in the day. So I was like, wow, I haven't drawn now. The gap between high school drawing, and I didn't really draw much after high school, and then drawing, about a year ago, because that's when I started, about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, dang, it's been like 9 years since I've drawn anything. Holy, 5, 6, whatever years. Maybe I'm stretching with 9. But I'm like, it's been like 5, 6 years. What am I going to do? So I eventually looked into it, got a Wacom tablet, garbage, went back to Best Buy, bought an iPad. I love it. That's what I'm currently using now. And then I just started crafting the region, and I looked up videos. Huge inspiration. True Green 7 was fantastic. Birdkeeper Toby in his region was amazing. Pokemon Tempest, Lockstin's region, the Cascade was immensely great. And I'm like, bro,
Cascade's great.
All these regions are just inspiring me to make my own. So that's when I crafted the very first Pokemon for the region, which was Charwool, one of the fire starters. And the initial drawing was rough. I went through like a good 3 weeks of just getting this Pokemon as perfect as I could. Then started working on Twigabee, and then from there, I sparked my favorite starter, being Aguacli, the water starter. I love that Pokemon. It's my personal favorite and the one that I would use the most out of the three. And I love it. And then from there, just started creating Pokemon back to back. But of course, it was a process. I reached out to a couple of artist friends that I knew, like, hey, what's some tips and tricks? How do you draw Pokemon? Because I never really drew my own Pokemon up to this point. I had concepts in my head, and I kind of knew what I wanted them to look like, but putting them actually on paper and then drawing the shapes was a whole different ball game, because I never really drew animals like that. It wasn't something that I really found myself back in the day drawing often. Like, okay, cool. Like, how do I draw a bird with a very round head and make it like Pokemon-esque? Because that's always the thing is with Pokemon designs, every artist has their style, but of course, to really sell a Pokemon design, you got to have, like, for a starter, the head should be 1/3 of its whole body, right? Maybe even a little bit more. If it's a dragon, you can't have it looking too draconic, because then it starts looking like a whole different franchise, like Digimon or something like that.
Yeah,
so you got to kind of pull the reins a little bit. Pokemon as a concept, they aren't super complicated, so I had to make sure I applied that philosophy with other artist designs that I've seen. But many artists helped me got to where I am now. A couple of them are like Cozy Cramorant. They are amazing. They've helped me so much. They even helped me with a lot of the designs early on in the region. Shout out to them. I've had help from Dark and Windy. I commissioned him to help me with a few things as well.
He's great. He's great.
Really, he's amazing. He was also the huge inspirations, because this man has 25 regions. I'm like, bro, does your hand not fall off every day?
Right,
like,
absolutely.
I struggle drawing like 2 Pokemon in a day. He's drawing like this many. I'm like, that is just craziness. But once I got it down, it was make the starters, and then their second forms. And then I got some great submissions from people in my Discord. Discord has been immensely helpful. They're like, hey, use this design. Hey, I would do this. And even some of the Pokemon that are in the region are from the Discord. They aren't even ones that I originally drew. They're just ones that I improved, made into my own style, and then said, hey, these are being implemented because, this person in the Discord made an amazing Pokemon. I thought it was perfect, and they said I should use it. So I included it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I had a really big structure for it, I guess. I was like, cool, obviously do the starters as starters do. I know some people don't love the fact that they are all bipedal. That's a whole topic of bipedal versus quadruped Pokemon. I love my starters are. I love all three. I love their final stages. I think they all work super, super well, and I see them actually being Pokemon that if they were in an anime or a short series, they would work super well. And then I decided, cool, what's the philosophy with my bird Pokemon, Swift Chirp? I was like, I kind of want to bring back a 2-stage, because we haven't had a true 2-stage flying regional bird since Swellow. Let's bring that into
Mm-hmm.
the fold, right?
Yeah.
I kind of was like puppy Pokemon are a staple, so we brought in Pup Dug. It has an evolution, which is normal ground, which is a Pokemon type we don't really use. And that was also a big inspiration. I looked up on Pokemon database and was like, bro, look at all these unused Pokemon typings. Why don't
Oh
we
yeah.
have Bug and Dark? Why don't we have Bug and Dragon? Why don't we have Rock and Ghost? That should be Spiritomb right there. Like, there's just so many things we haven't been using, and I incorporated them with either original designs, regional forms, and I even brought in a few beta Pokemon to help fill in the decks to kind of bring in some of those beta Pokemon designs are goaded. I don't know if people have really looked at them, but there's some really good designs there that just Pokemon has passed up, and they should really
Thousand
include in the
percent.
region. So yeah, Neos is it's an ongoing project. Pokemon Calamity is still ongoing. I want to make it into a fan game, even if it's nothing big. I would love to just have this as an option for anyone to play, like down to like someone like Sacred Almighty who loves playing fan games, down to anyone who's just in the Discord and likes the region. It'd be really cool to see it all come together too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I, as far as I'm concerned, and maybe some of the people that watch the videos, the topic that Neos and Calamity are inspired by, is very good as well, because a lot of people are into that franchise, excited for that franchise.
Yes, very much so. So funny on, I didn't have like a, or I guess a behind the truth moment. That concept really wasn't even implemented up until I finished the starters and was recording the video itself for them. It wasn't until
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I like Black Clover. Okay. Okay, I guess that could work. Like he's for the Royals, that Pokemon's for like the common, like there's a couple way I could do it. And I'm like, all right, cool, this will be the theme. But overarching, I didn't want Neos to be just a Black Clover Pokemon region. It still has a lot of original ideas and things. I feel like a majority of the Black Clover side of it is going to come from characters. Hands down, no one has really seen too many of the characters up to this point, besides like the male female companion, which look like Asta and Noelle, and of course you
yeah,
have.
yeah,
I recently showed off all the God. What are their names? What are their names? Rival characters. There we go.
yeah.
One of them looked like Kawaki from Boruto because I just love his design. I was like, cool. I'm just gonna kind of pull from anything that I enjoy. Black Clover is a show that I feel like I recently really got into. I love the characters. I love the lore. I love the magic. I love the environments, the scenery. There's just so many great things. It's definitely up there. It's one of my top animes to watch for anyone, really. It's really easy to digest.
Absolutely.
But when I looked at it, cool, hey, like they use fire magic. I can, fuse together. We have Fuegoleon Vermilion. He's in the Lion King's, Magic Knight squad. Cool, that's a lion Pokemon in a squad where the main leader uses fire Pokemon. Like it's just you have lions, you have fire. Like it's just kind of an easy combination to bring together. And I still wanted to include some of those elements, but I want to keep it Black Clover-esque with still some very original ideas and some refreshing things, because there is still some Pokemon in there that aren't any relation to Black Clover, but I found a way to time it at some point or another. So it did
Yeah,
work out
yeah.
well, though. It did work out well.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I love it whenever you post a new Calamity video. I'm like, oh, nice. Here we go. Going to see
Yeah.
some good art. I love it whenever I see it pop up on my subscriptions. I'm like, there we go.
Yeah,
I know what I'm watching.
it's a series that, and I know in comparison to maybe something that some of the other stuff that I post, it doesn't perform as well. But I decided that Pokemon Calamity, the Neos region, is like a personal project. It is not just something I'm uploading for the sake of views. I love making this region. I love making the content about the region and what it stands for, because these are my ideas on pen and paper in the digital form, going out. And I've had great fan art. People have drawn different forms of my Pokemon. I actually had recently someone reach out saying they want to redraw my Pokemon in their style. I said, bro, go for it. Have some fun. Show me soon.
Yeah.
Seeing sprite works of my Pokemon, moving animations of them, 3D models. I've even had someone 3D model one of the Pokemon. So it's really, really cool to see, and it's great. I love the project. They don't get as many views as anything else I do, but I'm not simply just doing it for views. I love saying, hey, like I created this. And at the end of it, I want to make a huge poster in Photoshop. I want to render it out, send it to some website or some printing place, and I want a huge poster of every single Pokemon I've ever created on one poster.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I want to make a couple things like that. I want to make a poster of like my champion with his ace. I want to make one with the main characters, all the Elite Four members. Like it's just, I have so many cool things, and I don't think I would really be giving these away unless someone's like, hey, I would love to buy it merch wise or something. If you want to, sure. Like, it always helps me out, helps the channel. But
Absolutely.
for my personal gain, like, this is like, hey, I created this. I really did this with some amazing artists. I know that for all the characters' sake, I hate drawing people personally, but shout out to my bro Diesel. He created all the character designs to look incredible. He nailed them. I gave him what I wanted. I gave him the background, and he executed to just flawless execution. Even brought in Ash Ketchum. No one's bringing in Ash Ketchum in any region. Every time that
Yeah.
I've seen a Fakemon region, they never bring in Ash. But since I do cover the Pokemon anime, Ash is a huge character in my life just because I watch him every single week almost. So it's just
Yeah.
like, why not bring him in, right? And that's what I did, and I had tons of fun with it too.
Yeah, it's definitely like, you got to have a passion project like that. It's so good. And I enjoy watching it. So I appreciate you putting it out.
Of course,
I'll
of
be the
course.
viewer on there.
So I'm a flip it for a second, right? I have a question for you.
Okay. Okay.
So with Neos, have you constructed a team? Do you have your top 3 favorite Pokemon? I know that we mentioned that you do enjoy Spooked, but is there any
Yeah.
other Pokemon that you really kind of found like this would be really cool, or like I would love to add this to the team if this was a game, anything like that?
So I'm going to hit you with my number one right now. Are you ready?
Yeah,
Absolutely, your regional Poochyena and its evolution. I love that so much. The
interesting.
ice forms. Oh, I love that one. That like I said, I watched that video so much, that specific video, and that Pokemon's in there, and that is one of the reasons why I go back to it. I'm like, this Pokemon just slaps. Like, I wish this could be on my team in an actual Pokemon game. I already like Poochyena and Mightyena a lot. And so whenever they're added in to regional forms like this, they're a Pokemon that I really want to have a regional form. So yours nailed it. I love that like ice wolf aesthetic. I like the evolution that you gave for it. Again, some people are going to be on the fence because the bipedal thing, but I like it. I really enjoy that Pokemon. Like, I think it's the design's good, type's good. I'm all in on that one.
Hey, that's what I like. That's awesome. That one specifically, that was one that Cozy Cramorant brought to me, and I was like, okay, interesting. I like the concept. It's very different. And it was kind of funny because we did like a 2-part thing on this where you can still get the Hinonian or whatever you want to say, the Hoenn form of Poochyena in
Yeah.
Neos, and instead it has a female exclusive evolution with Soft
Yes.
Sand. You get
Yes.
Matriena, right? The name
Yeah.
falls off perfectly. Shout out to whoever helped me with the name. I forget right now. But then I was like, cool, we have this ice one too. And at first I was like, maybe it's too much. Maybe it's too much to add in an evolution for this and give it a whole new form and a brand new. But I was like, this is my region. I do what I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
So obviously we crafted, and I got some help from Keith. I really wanted to sell more of like a werewolf-esque Pokemon, because we already have a quadruped Poochyena evolution, Mighty evolution with
Yeah.
Matriena. I was like, cool, we have that. She's sinister. She looks awesome. I love the form. To where you have the Poochyena, which is a male exclusive form because of the Matriena kind of banishing off the rest of them. They converted to ice types, and they can
Yeah.
evolve
Yeah.
to Glacian. It looks tough. That's why I also gave it to the rival character. It looks tough. It's kind of got that burly kind of Viking-esque design, which I guess kind of fits with like the Rome, Europe inspiration from
Yeah.
the Black Clover elements too. And of course, ice just needs more love. There's not enough ice Pokemon, I noticed.
100%.
So I wanted to do that, and I wanted to keep it pure. I know I was going back and forth a lot when I was doing like the Dex entries and the typing. I was like, should I make this dark, ice dark? I was like, it's like another Weavile. But I was like, truly, we don't have enough pure ice type Pokemon, and the ones that we do aren't like that great. So I was like, let me give us a really good ice type Pokemon that can really do some damage. And then those two were created, and that's
I
awesome.
love it.
Any others? I know I actually I think I said 3 or something. Sorry.
No, you're good. So like you said, the water starter was your favorite so far out of, in your region. And I absolutely all in on the water starter, all in on the ice Poochyena and its evolution. And the name escapes me right now, but the Spookid evolution that is a bull. But
Like the horse looking one.
there's one that's a bull, right?
I know they're based off of like a horse, a cat or feline, a canine, and like a kind of rooster type thing. I think you might be talking about the horse one. It kind of has like some
Okay, okay, okay.
troll-esque elements in there. I think you're talking about Slotocast. I think that's which one you're talking about.
Yes, that is it. That's absolutely it. That's 100% it. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was interesting. It was a weird take. So I kind of explained it in that video, but I guess for anyone who doesn't know, I actually commissioned 5 artists. I made the base spooky design. I made
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
myself 100%. Shout out to Mark Shadow for being the inspiration for this Pokemon. Kind of said, cool. I could make all 5 of these, but for time's sake and also my creative sake, I would love to see what other elements these other artists can bring to this design. So I reached out to those 5 artists and said, "Hey, make an evolution of this Pokemon." And literally, all I gave these each artist, and I said, "Hey, this is the pre-Evo. Yours, this will evolve into this. It has to be based off of a horse. It needs to be a Steel type." And that's all I gave them. I didn't give them anything else. And then they created these Pokemon that everyone got this on the video. And it worked out super well with some polishing and some good highlights and redrawing from me. Yeah, we have the 5 Pokemon that everyone gets to see in the videos.
Yeah, no. So I went back and looked at my comment on that video from 5 months ago, and it was Slotocast and Gimocast were the 2 big ones. I was like, these ones are phenomenal. These 2 are I'm all in on.
Hey,
So yeah, it was the horse. It was absolutely the horse. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, Slotocast. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I really was like, cool. It'd be awesome to have a really good defensive Pokemon. Hence why I gave it Filter, being a Dark and Steel type, and the additional stamina for the hidden ability. But it definitely is one that like it's a nice sturdy Pokemon. I love the fact that I was able to include the Clover elements into it and stuff like that. It just kind of
yeah, yeah,
seamlessly worked together while you can still say, hey, this Pokemon came from this. Like each design still kept some form of the base spooky in there, and that was always the goal. So I love
yeah,
them as well. I personally, I'm a Gimocast fan. It's my personal favorite.
yeah.
That
Those 2
one
were great. Those 2 were phenomenal.
came out amazingly. So super excited, and I was glad I was able to use some different typings and stuff like that. And I'm glad it worked out. But yeah, Neos it's been great, and I was fantastic to hear that you enjoy some of the designs and you kind of have your favorites
Absolutely.
and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. The names were escaping me, but I was like, man, I cannot think of it. I can only think of Spookid right now. But yeah, Slotocast and Gimocast were great. I love like the tail on Gimocast. So
Mhm.
good.
So it's really creative and something I wanted to do differently. I know that a lot of people really loved Labicast out of that bunch, was probably one of the more fan favorited ones alongside Gimocast.
Yeah.
I think so far the more favorited starter is Agwaki to Babble. People love the
Yeah.
monkey
Yeah.
starter. Not to say they don't love Ram Jessic or Shrubberoo, but they tend to like those 2 a lot.
The name is so good. Shrubberoo. I love that.
that is shout out to the Discord. So Discord helped me so much because some of the names, base names I had until I got to the final stages, I was like, they need to sound good. And Pokemon names should just roll off the tongue. They shouldn't be complicated, to say
Absolutely.
or anything. So when I said it, I was like, someone said a different name at first, and I was like, that doesn't work. And then someone said Shrubberoo, and I was like, oh my god, it's perfect.
Yeah,
it
that's it.
it just rolls off. Just I'm like, oh, that's it right there. So it worked out beautifully. So that yeah, I mean, I'm glad to hear you have some favorites, and I hopefully I can continue that trend for you with some of the newer final Pokemon coming out soon and following the legendaries after that. So some
Absolutely.
good
Yeah.
stuff there.
The more Wavern design style that you had in your, I believe it was the most recent release, or maybe the Rivals came out after. I can't remember. Either way, that you had one that was based on Wavern from Bakugan too.
Yeah.
Like had that design element. It's so good. I
Yeah,
loved it.
and that was funny because I know me and you were talking about it, a couple of days prior, and I was like, oh wow, he's gonna hopefully he enjoys this one. And as a Bakugan fan, I haven't watched it. I won't lie, I haven't watched it in a long time. I didn't even watch
Oh
the
yeah.
last like season and a half. I kind of it's been popping up on my timeline recently for some reason, but or on my subscription fees. I'm like, maybe I will dive back into it. But I was like,
Yeah.
I really wanted an evolution or 2 evolutions to really stand out, and I feel like I'm more of a Chakrion fan out of the 2 because I love fighting type. Fighting is my favorite Pokemon typing. But I really wanted to deliver on a dragon Pokemon that was not going to be the very basic, not basic, but very similar serpent design or anything. I really wanted something different structurally in it. And I feel like we got that with Wavereon. So it worked out really well.
100%. And For those that haven't watched, let me just give my little promo here to Chakrion. I think you were the first person I've ever seen go that style with the fighting type evolution. Everyone's always Brawleon, put tape on the legs,
Mm-hmm.
that's the classic ev, but yours was about the aligning the chakras and like a mental state, and I love that. I talked in the last episode with Dusty Go-Goat. I am a big Medicham fan. I like that psychic fighting combination, the like getting your mentality right before fighting, and like that being the key to chi or chakra or anything like that. So your Chakrion, 10 out of 10 design.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a Pokemon that, at that point I was thinking about, I was literally like jotting down notes for new evolutions. I had some Demon Slayer gameplay going on with the recent Demon Slayer game, Comic Chronicles going on. And I'm like, wow, Akaza's so cool. Wait a minute. Okay, Akaza, Eevee, Naruto, Chakra, boom, it writes itself. Crafted it up really quick, and then got help from Psyoxmon, and we created this amazing Pokemon that I felt like the colors ended up fitting really well. Adding on the bees without hopefully making them look too much was really really great, but I still wanted them to have a great presence on there because they do play
Yeah.
a part, and I feel like it works. I mean, it comes with Moxie, Scrappy. It's a good fighting type evolution because I didn't want to just like Brawleon or anything or Scrappy-on or anything like that, because
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is true.
yeah, yeah.
Everyone kind of adds on like a really specific boxing motif, like the ears or like hands or something. Like I didn't really want that 100%. I wanted to still keep it Eevee, and it still looks Eevee, and that's what I wanted to go for. So it worked out super super well.
Yeah, super good design. But we will end our fan cast of the Neos region, and we'll move on to the next segment called RKS News, and we just kind of talk about the general news that's happening in the Pokemon community right now.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously know that Scarlet and Violet, I know we touched on a little bit. Scarlet and Violet is going to be having something drop here, 12 hours from now or less than, that or whatever, 24 hours from now. So I'm excited about the new trailer. Obviously, the Masters 8's popping off. Have you really been tuning into the Masters 8? Have you been like really watching all the battles and stuff?
I have. So I like some more than
I
others.
don't blame you.
So yeah, yeah. I'm an Alon fan, so that one was rough to
Ooh,
see.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I actually I liked Cynthia versus Iris. That one I was fine with. It was for what it was. It was good. And then Steven versus Ash had some good parts and some bad parts.
Yeah, I feel like
Trey Dilly being the good part.
I feel like breaking them down. I know we kind of talked about it in the podcast with the Champion League, but for just
Yeah.
me, as far as the Masters 8 goes, it's been a really wavy thing. Then obviously with them having breaks in between that adds to like the height dying, going back up, dying again. But Alon versus Leon was yikes. I feel like
Absolute yikes.
big yikes, but it did set the I guess the notion of like, hey, Leon's a very strong trainer. He only lost one Pokemon. Charizard pretty much took down all of Alon's team, including his Charizard. I feel like there's definitely better ways they could have done that with still showing that
Yeah.
Leon's incredibly strong. But since you were introducing Hop, having a ceremony, and then kicking off this battle and trying to finish it all in like 22 minutes, it really something had to fall. And unfortunately, the battle side had to fall, which really, really sucks. Um,
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I was excited for Lance versus Diantha because I never really liked Diantha. I'm not gonna say I'm a super fan now, but I do like her more than I have before. She came with great strategies. Honestly,
Yeah, good
though,
strats.
Lance kind of let me down with some of the things he was doing. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Come on now.
Yeah, it was
You're better than
questionable.
this. I want to say so far, hands down, best battle is Cynthia Iris versus Cynthia. It is
That's where
incredible.
I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Great animation for the most part. I love the strategies from both, unpredictability. I just feel like if they really wanted to hit a good zinger, one good like, hey, just like, yo, check this out. Give Iris some kind of gimmick. I'm not saying that she needed like Mega Evolution or even Dynam. I honestly said give her a Z move. Like
I think Z move was perfect for her. I wish she would have had a Z move for the Dragon Z move.
that
It
would
would have
have
just been
been
so good.
amazing. That honestly is where I think it should have went. The Pokemon has Dragon Pulse anyway. Just give it I forget what the actual Z move's called, but use the Dragonium Z and then boom. Oh, I think it's called Devastating Drake.
I was like
just
Drake. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
call it a day. Like that would have been just perfect. She's like, "Hey, I've been saving this," and then even like you'll see Ash is surprised, she's surprised, and like, oh, that would have been like, okay, cool. Like she did put up a good fight here, but then if she had a Z move, she put up a really good fight. So it would have been cool to see. And then Ash versus Steven was. I mean, I was hyped during the reaction. I think my blood was really flowing because I'm like, oh, Ash is back. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But I did mention
Yeah.
a few times, like I do feel like it was kind of like throwing him a bone a little bit because I feel like the whole Pikachu versus Metagross part was really like,
That was rough.
you're not
That was a
making
rough
it.
part.
Yeah, it's like it was almost like this shouldn't be happening. This is kind of unbelievable. Like it just
Yeah.
felt back. I'm like, first of all, Pikachu clearly has Eviolite on because there's no way it's taking this much damage. And then
Yeah.
two,
Yeah.
I had never seen the point where this Z move for Pikachu hit 7 times. And if 3
Yeah.
miss, then the
7
rest
different
hit.
ones. Yeah.
Bonkers to me. That is just crazy. So I didn't love the battle as much as maybe compared to some others, but I'm very optimistic about Ash versus Cynthia. I'm considering that it's a 3-part episode, 3.5-part
That's what it sounds
episode.
like. Yeah.
Just better be good. Don't nerf down Cynthia. Don't super buff Ash, and that's the one worry that I have. I feel like because obviously we got the trailer for it. I see based off the trailer is Cynthia's kind of wiping some of Ash's Pokemon out really quickly. Obviously we can't tell what episode goes to which part in that trailer, but I feel like I'm really hoping this isn't the case because this happened with B. I feel like Lucario's going to come in and like sweep half of Cynthia's team.
That's never a good look.
I feel it like deep in my stomach, like the battle's gonna come on. Cynthia's one-sided, beating Ash up. Ash sends out Lucario. He beats one Pokemon, returns them, sends out some other Pokemon. They lose. They start lowering down Cynthia's numbers, and then Lucario like sweeps 2 or 3 Pokemon by himself.
Yeah, I like it better whenever it's that more older style, where it's back and forth. You think Ash versus Gary, Ash versus Harrison, Ash versus Drake of the Orange Islands, where it's neck and neck. One goes down, the other goes down. One goes down, the other one goes down, because like it's used up all of its energy. So when a new Pokemon comes out, it smokes it.
Yeah. I feel like the pacing is going to be very important because you need to be able to sell Ash as like, hey, he actually did beat the Cynthia because of this, not because Lucario is Mach 10 aura strength and he could just take down half of Cynthia's team. Like that just doesn't make sense. I don't want a crazy spike and then he gets to Leon and loses, with like Leon only losing 1 or 2 Pokemon. I'd be like, all right, that's just ridiculous. The power scaling is definitely a little bit all over the place. Kind of reminds me of Dragon Ball. But I'm hoping they can hone it in and really make it sellable for Ash for sure.
Absolutely. So in other Pokemon news, Pokemon Unite is getting a new map called Thea Sky Ruins, where the raid boss becomes Rayquaza, and the map becomes like some like ruinish sky pillar kind of vibes. I'm excited to play that. I just this week got back into Unite, I feel like, so excited to play on that map. I'm excited to fight Rayquaza. Like, I love it.
Yeah, so funny enough, if we go back yesteryears almost, it feels, up until the point where they showed off. When they first showed, I remember this day because it was probably one of the days I was the most like PO'd with Nintendo, Pokemon Company for this. Because I woke up early and the insight was we were getting news about Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC. I woke up early, like 5:30, because they were dropping this at 6 a.m. my time. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. Hop on the computer reaction, and I'm like, hey, time to show our major hidden thing today. And they show a Pokemon Unite. I'm like, I woke up for this. This is what I woke up for. I'm upset. I'm living in the chat. I'm going crazy. I'm like, I woke up for a MOBA? You're kidding me. But of course, I still did my due diligence as a good content creator, and I gave it the benefit of the doubt, and I actually played the game. I enjoy Pokemon Unite. I think it's a super fun game, especially if you can get your friends on it. If you can get a good group of friends on Pokemon Unite, you have a ball. Even if you're losing, you still have a fun time because you're going back and forth on the banter and stuff like that.
100%.
Super fun. And I usually use like Cinderace. I love Dragonite in that game. I would love to use Greninja more, but he's a little bit harder to use. But Dragonite right now is like my main, and I know that we have the whole World Championship Unite tournament going on. They're going crazy. I have
100%.
seen the new map in like a passing picture on Twitter, but I haven't really dove into it. But I heard it's really, really cool though.
It looks clean. It looks clean. I'm excited to play it.
Personally, I did no. Funny enough, though, even though I don't make Unite content or anything, I did make a video like
Yeah.
months ago. I think I want to say like at the beginning of the year, almost yes ish. And I said, "Cool, these are Pokemon that we need in Pokemon Unite." And funny enough, some of them actually end up working their way in, like Dragonite, Aegislash. What else did I say in the video? I'm almost clicking on it just to double check it right now because I almost forgot what I added. I know my personal picks were like, I would love to see obviously Infernape for obvious reasons.
Yeah. The brand, the
You know, the
brand.
brand. I need my boy in there, but I think I said it'd be really cool to see like Toxtricity have a Gen 8, another Gen 8 Pokemon in there that's not a starter. It'd be really cool. If
Yeah.
you wanted to include a starter, Sopple's a really easy one to include. If I'm being quite
Yeah.
honest, like I mean, Snipe Shot as a move. Oh,
That'd be
ooh,
clean.
just super clean. I think I said Cub Fu would have been a really cool Pokemon to add. Maybe you give it like
Oh
the
yeah.
Rapid Strike version because obviously it's the more competitive one.
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool. Yeah, Unite has really taken off by storm. I feel like if they start including some of those bigger fan favorite Pokemon in there, especially from Gen 8, like Dragapult, you could really start doing some fun stuff. I mean, come on, could you imagine like a Dragapult Dragon Dart set? That would just be kind of
100%. That's what Dragapult's the one I think of because I'm like, just make a ring around, and his Unite move is just raining down just a ton of Dreepy, just raining them down on him.
just so good. I think like Pokemon like Ellie Kid should be in the game. I think that'd be super fun. I think I said some weird picks like Aeron, because you know maybe you can
Oh,
have
there you go.
Aggron. That could
Yeah.
be just a really cool one, or even Ferrothorn or Ferroseed for like some
Yeah.
additional stuff. But yeah, there's tons of options. They have some really great things they can do. Pokemon Unite is really stepping up. I gotta say, I'm quite surprised because I'm surprised the fan base is this strong because Pokemon
Yeah.
decided to take a big leap. And the last big leap they did was Pokken, and Pokken was hyped for a bit, but it wasn't hyped for long. But it looks like Pokemon Unite is definitely a game with like content for years to come. So they found something that works, and they're pushing it, and they definitely should keep it
Yeah.
up.
Good release schedule on that
Oh yeah,
game too. No, I'm not going to spoil. I have seen leaks of who's coming. They have a very unique Pokemon coming soon to that game, and I
mm.
blown away that it was one of the Pokemon selected. It's just such a way out there pick. Like if you could ask me to list 300 or 400 Pokemon that I thought the Pokemon Unite would pick, this Pokemon would not have made that list.
That's interesting. Which I think that's cool though. I feel like that's a great thing to do is incorporate those weirder picks and make them awesome, right? And then if you have
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that weird pick in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that only makes it that much more popular for people to choose in the game,
absolutely,
which could be
absolutely.
interesting as a whole to see itself. But yeah, I haven't been looking too much into it, but I heard some really cool Pokemon are coming. I know that Tyranitar is the most recent release, or was it Buzzwole? One of the two.
Yeah. Tyranitar and Buzzwole
I don't
most
know too
recent. Yeah,
much, but I was actually caught off guard about how many evolutions we were going to have. I didn't know they were going to do every evolution. We're getting up there. We just got Glaceon, we have Espeon, Sylveon. So I think it's only a matter of time before we get the rest of them, at some point. I,
yeah.
I personally got my
Eventually, yeah.
favorite in there. I love Espeon. It's my favorite evolution. So I'm kind of satisfied, but I won't mind. I mean, Umbreon would be dope to see on the field too. Always a good one to
Always.
see.
And you brought up Pokken, which leads us to our next piece of news that with Shadowcat winning the Pokken Championship at Pokemon Worlds, Pokken is no longer officially part of the Play Pokemon circuit. The game's going to be getting a free-to-play trial until the 24th. It's been a good run, Pokken, and sad to see you go until they release a new Pokken game in your back end, which I feel like is going to happen.
Honestly, so I guess for people who don't know, I'm a very avid fighting game fan. I love fighting games. I would even just
Yeah.
say more that I love them over Pokemon. I'm a huge fan of the Mortal Kombat
Oof.
series, the personal favorite Tekken series, which is funny enough for Pokken. I love all the fighting games. Injustice is one of my probably top two. It's up there. It's probably going to go Tekken series and Injustice. It's great. So to hear they were making, a Pokemon style Tekken game, I was like, bro, this is bonkers. Like when I first heard about it, I didn't have a Wii U at the time. I was like, this is astronomical. I need to get a Wii U. And at that point, they were $300. I had just started working. I'm like, bro, I got no money for this. Up until a point where for my birthday, I decided to buy myself a Switch. And then I bought Pokemon Tournament DX or XD, whatever it's called. And I was like, time to finally play this game. And I love playing as Lucario, Sceptile, Decidueye is super, super fun. Even to the point my girlfriend will play, and she actually does pretty well. I think she actually won the last team battle we did. She beat me. She loves her
Oh, there
team.
you
Her
go.
team's a little busted, by the way. She uses Empoleon and 2 Mewtwo's. I think it's a little cracked, but
Okay.
whatever. I let her use whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love those games. I love Tech. I was actually just watching like an hour long like Tekken documentary, like behind the story type of thing, because I love the franchise. But I'm really hoping that there is a Pokken 2, and they simplify it down. I think the one thing that I don't love about Pokken personally is the phase 1, phase 2. I don't love the phase thing. I feel like you should really just commit to one of the 2 phases. Either make it an arena fighter type of game, or
Yeah.
make it
Yeah.
like a Tekken side kind of 2.5D, 3D fighter. I think that's what you really should do.
I know that's a lot of people's comments is like the 3D arena style is not their thing. Like they just want the Tekken, side scroller
Yeah, and I
style,
think it would work perfectly.
Yeah.
You have so many good Pokemon to choose. I mean, Tekken is Bandai Namco's biggest like franchise that they have. I mean, even announcing recently, for those who don't know, kind of adding a little teaser for the next Tekken game, because it was definitely Unreal Engine 5. You saw the Kazuya smile. It's very classic. It was really, really cool to see. So I'm excited about the future for that franchise. But I feel like Pokemon 2 should come out, simplify some of those rules, add in some Pokemon that should have been added. Like where was Greninja? This was like this Pokemon that was
Yeah,
like
100%,
that was
100%.
kind of a shoe in. Where's Greninja? Personally, where's Hitmonchan? Where's Hitmonlee? That's your Steve Fox equivalent, your
Oh,
a Walrein,
yeah.
equivalent. Like you have so many things you can add. And funny enough, dude, it's so crazy that you brought up Pokken, because yesterday I watched a video and it was like every Tekken move in Pokken. And this guy did a frame by frame, every single move. Like if a character like Jin would use a move in Tekken, it looks just like a move that Lucario used. I'm like, bro, frame to frame, these are incredible. So you already have the foundation with Tekken. Bring in some heavy hitters into Pokemon and bring in some different ones. I think that'd be cool. Like, even though he's a little bit big and burly in his mega form, bring in like Mega Swampert, a big brute character fighter, be really, really cool.
Oh, that'd be so
But you
good.
can
Yeah.
bring in those oddball picks like your Chandelure. I think like Solosis could be really fun. Please bring in Infernape. I should not have to even ask for this. Infernape is not giving me love. I
Right.
know I just got 2 Sinnoh games back to back with him. But I mean, I feel like in a fighting game or even Pokemon Unite, my boy should be here. He should be here in some capacity, or even bring in some of these newer Pokemon from the newest generation as playable characters. I feel like would be just so great to have, and they all don't have to be fighting type Pokemon. You can make them other types, and it works just as well. I mean, look at Suicune, for example, quadruped that's super good in Pokemon tournament. So yeah, I'm hoping there's a second game soon, or at least in the next 5 years. So I'd love it.
I mean, the producer for Tekken, the lead, Harada, he said that he'd be interested in talking to Nintendo about making Pokken, like him coming in and leading the
If he
project.
does
So
that,
that would
it's
be cool.
it's a 10 out
That'd
of
be
10
cool.
banger. I don't need a huge roster. I just need a really diverse, and then you can bring in the DLC. I mean, Tekken 7 just did a lot of great stuff with DLC. They just added a brand new update for brand new characters, and I feel like you can incorporate so much. I mean, you just had and even do like a switch for characters, right? Instead of inserting Gardevoir in the game, give us Gallade instead. That's an easy switch you can do. And bringing
Ooh,
some of
yeah,
those
that'd be
different
fun.
picks, like I feel like there's so many Pokemon that you can use in exchange for that. And you can create some really fun move sets. I mean, you just added Gengar in the game. There's so many other cool ghost type Pokemon you can add. They don't have to be humanoid. Like imagine like a brute like Golurk or something that could be really cool. There's some options. There's some really good options. If they stumble upon Pokken 2, I hear rumors, I might create like a wish list video. That'd be pretty fun.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, there's just so many. Beartick would be
Oh,
cool. That's an ice type that
that
you could
is
throw right in there and be like,
that
Beartick's
is a
in.
good one
He's
too. Like
burly.
Beartick, if they want to hit me up for Glaciana, I'll give it to them. I'd be down to see.
Yeah. I sell the
I
rights.
give
I'd
it to
sell the
them.
rights.
I'm not mad at that. Just there's a lot of cool things they can do. I do like the fact when Pokemon breaks out of the norm, which I think is one reason that Scarlet Violet is being looked at so well, because it is not the basic, oh, go start this town, go to Route 1, 2, 3, 4, hit this town, do this. It's the open world aspect. We're getting things like Pokemon Unite, some MOBA. I feel like they should branch out more, but don't make us wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning for it if it's not that deep. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alrighty, and finally, as we are recording this, the Pokemon Worlds tournament is still ongoing, but by the time you listeners hear it, it is over. So I figured it'd be fun. It's time for us to make some wild predictions that would never happen on who won. So my money is that Birdkeeper Toby won the VGC category. You have any predictions you want to
Oh,
make?
I say the Pokéref. He comes in clutch as a solo man for Pokemon Unite and wins it all.
Oh, there we go. Pokéraf winning it. There we are. But seriously, congratulations to anyone that did win. I know Paul Chua is doing really good. I think Evans is still in there. So, congrats to everyone that's competing. And I hope everyone is having a good, fun, safe time there at
Hey,
Pokemon Worlds.
hopefully, yeah, same. Hope you guys are staying safe, have fun, get some good Pokemon collectibles, things like that. That was one reason I really wanted to go. I really wanted like a good like Chimchar plush. I was like, God, it's about time I had one. But yeah, hopefully everyone's having
Yeah.
a good time. I don't follow as much on the competitive side of either Unite or Pokemon like VGC 100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, hopefully the best man or group wins and they kind of bring it home.
Yeah, yeah. And there's tons, if you're listening to this and you're like, man, I wish I would have gotten some of the stuff there. There's a lot of stuff for pretty much any game. Pokemon Go has codes. Victini was released on
Oh
Pokemon
yeah.
Sword and Shield, finally making that code correct. I can't wait to play with Victini in Pokemon Camp. Uh, there's Pokemon Unite codes. There's Pokemon TCG online cards. There's only like 100,000 of them, though, so you have to go quick if they're still open. But there's lots of cool things to uh, take advantage of so you can make your games a more fun experience through Pokemon
Hey,
Worlds.
that's what's up. Pokemon bringing it to the people.
So while I have you on, I figured that we'd kind of talk about some of the Generation 9 designs from someone like you that has an eye for Pokemon designs. So do you have a favorite out of these Paldean Pokemon that we're seeing?
Ooh, favorite so far. I nothing is like massively blown me away. I have a huge recent fascination though with Quaxley. I I
Okay,
honestly at
okay. I always
first
pictured you as a Fuecoco
I
guy.
am a Fuecoco. I'm definitely still going to choose him for sure. But for some reason, I've been recently drawing all three starters a lot for different projects that I've been working on for like Pokemon anime stuff that I've been doing for the recent videos. And
Yeah,
Quaxley drawing him and looking at him and shading him, I'm like, bro, this Pokemon is clean. It's just a clean Pokemon, and I'm not mad at the design of this. But what I think really helped sell it to me was the 3D render in that second trailer that we got, where you get to see him actually moving around. I'm like, he
absolutely.
looks adorable, but for sure, I'm still Team Fuecoco family. That's where I'm laying. But funny enough, though, I didn't really like Fuecoco at first. When I first saw it in the initial trailer with like the kind of like the pan, and they showed on like this old picture type of thing during the reveal trailer, I was like, what? I was like, oh, it's the cat. Oh, what? Okay, wait, what? I was like, that's interesting. I don't know what that is, but I was like, I was like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like this Pokemon. And then it set in for like an hour, and I was like, I love Fuecoco. This thing is amazing. It's different. It's cute. It's adorable. And I think from there, I think I'm really interested in Fido and Palmy. I feel like Palmy is obviously our Pika clone, but with it being pure
Yeah,
electric type,
definitely.
I feel like it has the most opportunity. Because what's the trend with most of the Pikachu clones? They're usually dual typing, right?
Yeah,
Now, this is not single typing instead. And because of single typing, I could see it evolving into something else, or at least having a second stage evolution, kind of like, the Raichu of Palmy, for example. So that's what I'm hoping for personally. I don't know if it'll happen, but I feel like if you decide to keep it pure electric and nothing else, that would be a waste.
yeah, no, absolutely. And on my channel, focus on Pokemon theories and trends and what I can find to, say this is likely to happen. I made a video on why I think Palmy is going to evolve. And the main reason that I had, you bring up the pure electric type on there, but its species name is the electric mouse Pokemon, or just not the electric mouse, sorry,
Mm.
but just the mouse Pokemon. And the last mouse Pokemon that we had as a Pikachu clone is Pikachu, which evolves. But there's also some other Pokemon that are the mouse Pokemon in category, namely being Rattata, Alolan Rattata, Sandshrew, and Alolan Sandshrew. All of those Pokemon have a second stage.
Mm.
So this will be the first mouse Pokemon without a second stage if it didn't evolve. So I am in the category that it will evolve.
I like it. I didn't even really notice that, but that does make a lot more sense. It kind of solidifies my additional reason. But yeah, I mean, I will say, design wise, this is probably so far one of the strongest designed Pokemon that we've seen, even better than Galar, because these Pokemon come with a lot of abstract shapes, simple but
Absolutely.
very effective designs, like even down to the Paldea Wooper. It changes the standard like antenna ear things into like, the crossbone skull X.
Yeah,
It's so effective. I mean, Fido is literally a dessert bread. Like I could pop this in the toaster, butter it up, and I can eat it right now. It is literally that really cool. And Lechonk broke the internet. It literally broke Twitter for a
absolutely.
little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, it has so much potential. And then when I look at every Pokemon except for Titan, I see I see so much potential in it, and the types are different. I mean, grass normal for Smoliv. When you see Lechonk, you may not initially think normal. I thought ground or ground normal, if anything, but it's a pure normal type. Fido, a
yeah,
lot of people
yeah.
thought normal too. I initially thought fairy off the rip. It kind of made sense. I thought Wooper was going to be a pure poison type, but it's poison ground, which has not been a type we've seen since Nidoking.
Yeah, as I say,
So
it's
that
been
is
since Gen 1 that we've seen that.
craziness. I'm like, they're bringing in a lot of trends, which makes me really hopeful that this generation is going to have a lot of Pokemon, a lot of banger Pokemon. So the point I'm like, dang, my team is like unmakeable at this point.
Yeah. I don't
So
have any Pokemon that I dislike. Usually there's one that I'm like, that's not for me, but I could see where that's for someone else.
yeah.
Like there's usually one I'm like, not my thing, but I could see where someone else would like that. All these I'm like, I could use this on a playthrough. These designs are good.
So far, even though I am not the hugest fan of Titan, I could see myself adding it to a team rotation. It may not be like always at the top of the team, like always staying on, but I could see it like being a rotation Pokemon. I pick it up before a gym that I might need. I'll use it for a couple, maybe even in the like Elite Four, and then put it back in the box. But the rest of the Pokemon, I'm like, I could see depending on what Wooper evolves into, if it's a Quagsire or something else, that could be an immediate team member. Ground and Poison, that's oh my goodness, that's a crazy typing. I actually have never used a Nidoking in any playthrough, so this could be my first time using this typing, but I know the typing is really good.
I'm a big Nido Queen fan.
I haven't used it either. I hear they're great Pokemon. One day, hopefully, I get to
Yeah.
use these Pokemon. Fido has, again, just potential. And I feel like when I see Fido, the only thing I ask for is a chocolate bread shiny. That's all I need.
Right,
I don't,
right.
it's too there. It's too there. Just, or even caramel or strawberry. Just like continue the dessert theme. Don't make it like neon green. Like I don't know. We're past those days of neon green. It's like, all right,
They've
we're
been
done.
doing good with the shinies recently, though.
They
They've been
have.
they've been
They
doing them
have.
justice.
They've been a lot better than years prior, but yeah, I feel like they have a great room, and I'm ready to see. Hopefully, for this to be refreshed tomorrow with some brand new Pokemon very very soon.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So I'm hoping for some fantastic new releases on there. Do you have any characters that kind of stuck out for you? Like we've gotten some good designs. Jock, Arvin. There's some clean designs in there.
yes, for me personally, first of all, Grusha was bait for a lot of people.
Always, yeah, yeah, yeah. Got to have
A
that
lot
now.
of people. But I really enjoyed, like, I see Arvin. You read his background. I think Brock. I look at his hair.
100%.
I think Adaman. I same thing with Jock too. I want to say shout out. I said this in the stream. Shout out to Adaman for bringing in very creative hairstyles, because they
Yeah,
gave us the
yeah.
hairstyles for Arvin for Jock, where it's like that two tone, but it's not like super crazy, but it just looks good. But yeah, I like Jacques' design. I like Arvin's design. I like Nimona being a rival that's strictly female, that is battle
100%.
forward. I think it's different. It's great. It shows so many different sides of Pokemon that I'm excited to see. And Penny is probably my least favorite of the bunch, because it kind of reminds me of like a less confident Marnie-esque character, but we'll just have to wait and see if that is true or not. But
I get the feeling, and I'm just saying this with no real basis, just off of the vibes that I'm getting. I think this is the first stage in Penny's design. I think that we're throughout the game going to get a reveal, a chain, like either a glow up or a villain style thing where she reveals her real design. I feel like this is
oh,
her first design, and I feel like later she's either going to come out of her shell and be like, now I'm a powerful trainer. I can stand on my own. This is my design now. Or I'm a villain. This is my design now. And so I feel like this is the first step on a ladder going towards her design.
It is interesting because when I look at her design, she's the only character that is actually physically holding a Pokeball. So she's not afraid of battling, clearly, at least based off
100%.
what
That's
this
what I
seems
think.
like. I feel like the shy personality is going to last for a bit, almost like a Lily type thing up until like the climax area. And then she's going to really
Exactly.
start popping off on us, or I don't know, other characters. I don't know how that's going to rip, but I'm super excited because I even mentioned that in my video talking about like the Scarlet Violet anime. I was like, hey, there is one thing I noticed is even though she's in the school, she's the only character besides gym leaders or even down to teachers are wearing the actual school uniform. And in some way, she's not wearing any colors of any school. She's wearing
Yeah.
like her
Yeah.
own thing. So it's interesting. She's a character that's interesting. And maybe I'll enjoy her character more once we learn more about her. But so far, I think like Jacques and Arvin are like my top two. Like just shout out to the Pokemon artists for creating just top tier Pokemon designs, like nothing short, which makes me that much more excited for the next upcoming Pokemon series. But it makes me worried because like the characters that are so cool, we don't even get to see in Pokemon Journeys right now. Because like, where's Nessa? Where's Melody? Where's Gordy? All these cool characters with cool designs. We don't even get to see any of the Legends Arceus characters, which have
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
designs used in
100%.
any anime or cartoon format. It's just what we get to see from there. But I'm hopeful we get to see it. But yeah, Arvin, Jock, those are probably my two favorite designs. I was going to say also with Giga Chad Turo there too.
Oh yeah, Professor Turo. There you go. There you go. My favorite design we've seen so far is actually he has not been named, but he's a teacher there, and he's got the swept back hair. He's muscular. He's crazy big. He's got like the button down and the suspenders. I love that dude.
So I've been calling him Armstrong because I don't know what, because he
Armstrong,
reminds
there
me
we
of
go.
from Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah,
He's like
yeah,
that big
FMA,
buff
yeah.
with the mustache. Yes, that guy looks super cool, and I hope he's like an Elite Four or I want to battle him. I don't care who he is. I just want to battle him.
Yeah, no, I feel that too. I feel that. I'm like, bring it on. Like me and you, my man.
The designs are too clean of these, even down to I saw like the beauty class trainer. I thought that was an actual like teacher, or that's like an important. I'm like, wow, the designs for this game is incredible. Even down to the graffiti artists have like paint on their fingernails. I'm like, bro, what the heck is going on? The designs for this game are remarkable. It only make me more excited to see what else we get to see in the next trailer and the trailers after that, or even in the game. So good stuff. Good stuff.
100%. Now, this question is going to be really important. Who ride on or me ride on?
Okay, so this has been I've been back and forth personally because off rip before they showed legendaries, I have proof in my reaction. Before they even showed the legendaries, I said I'm team Scarlet without even seeing legendaries. I'm team Scarlet. I usually go for the lesser popular version of most games, which tends to be the one on the right hand side, like Shield, Pearl. Right? So off the rip, without seeing the legendaries, I was like, I'm going Scarlet. That purple on the case looks clean. I'm going for that. That's my copy. Then obviously we get to reveal the legendaries, and I'm like, oh, this even solidifies it more. But then I saw all the bandwagon Scarlet people like, oh, I'm getting Violet now. And I'm like, I like having the opposite copy of like the majority of the group. Also for the sake of streaming and stuff like that, because a lot of people be streaming Pokemon Violet. I'm like, I'd rather just stream Scarlet for my own different take on content. Because everyone's playing Scarlet as is, but I'm for sure as a Pokemon, Miraidon. Miraidon is top tier. The design is incredible. It makes sense. Koraidon has a tire in his chest, probably from some, biological reason in time, but it's just stupid because it runs on all fours. So, it is what it is. But yeah, Miraidon it's a top tier design, really clean. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I never really thought about that, but I guess I do tend to pick the lesser picked one of the two, because I feel like Sun was picked more than Moon, and I picked Moon. I feel like Sword was picked more than Shield, and I picked Shield. I feel like Violet's gonna be picked more, but I like Scarlet better. I don't know. I never thought about that. It's just the designs. I guess I like weird design Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, I always go for both. I mean, since I ever was able to buy my own Pokemon games, I just buy both copies.
Oh, you gotta buy both. You gotta buy both.
Whenever that happens, right? But the only time that I really haven't done that trend is with Sun and Moon. And I was like, Solgaleo looks top tier. I don't care about this bat. So I'm like, I'm choosing this thing. So that was kind of solidified more reason for me to get Pokemon Sun over Moon. But since then, like Pearl, when we had Diamond and Pearl, I had Pearl. Like,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
when we played BDSP, I went for Shining Pearl first because everyone was playing Brilliant Diamond first. So I'm like, whatever. But I mean, I'm gonna go probably for the lesser. Right now, I'm leaning towards just Scarlet for just different sake. But we'll see how it goes. If there's like a crazy regional evolution or something that's really specific to Violet that I need to play it, then I'll just do that. There is one convincing thing that's bringing me to Scarlet a little bit more, and I'm hearing that Ice Cube is in Violet, and I'm like, I do love Ice Cube, one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 8. So if that's over
Oh,
there in Violet, I
really?
might need to go over there that way. Yeah, yeah. I think it's confirmed that
Nice.
Stonejourner, Scarlet, Ice Cube, Violet. So
Okay,
there.
okay. I didn't realize that was gonna be the separating there, and I didn't realize you were such a big Ice Cube fan. I feel like it's a
Oh,
Pokemon that catches a lot of hate. I don't have a intensity either way. I'm like, cool design. That's all I really
it's
feel on it.
for
But
me, it was cute design, but what really got me, I used it in battle one day. I use it competitively one day. I looked up a
ooh,
quick video. I was like, I'm just gonna use this Pokemon, and I was like, cool. The ability is called Ice Face. I tell you, when I pulled off, it was the first time I used it. I think the moveset I ran on it was Citrus Berry, Belly Drum. I think it was Zen Headbutt. Uh, was it Waterfall and Ice Punch? I think no, that's 5 moves. One of those weren't in there. I don't know which one it is right now. Probably the watermelon. I think I had not. I think it was Ice Punch instead of Waterfall.
okay,
Either way, so what someone did was they used Break on me. They broke it. For those who don't know, when Ice Cube's Ice Face breaks, his speed stat goes +6. Right? Since
yeah.
I knew he was going to go for a physical move, I went for Belly Drum. Right? So he breaks the Ice Face 6+ on speed. I go for the Belly Drum. I'm 6+ on the attack. I pop the Citrus Berry and then I G Max or Dynamax, and then I just sweep the team from there.
There you go.
It was honestly one of the funnest Pokemon to use, and I love its design. Hence why I also made a regional form of it for Neos as well.
So, speaking of, sounds like a fun Pokemon memory. I try to ask this to and all the guests, kind of because Pokemon's a wide-ranging franchise. Everyone's story is a little different. What is your favorite Pokemon memory?
Um, I'm gonna probably say something a little basic, but I'm gonna
That's
have
fine.
to
That's fine.
say the very first time I beat Cynthia. I feel like it was such just a gratifying moment because I mean Cynthia almost had me breaking the DS in half, folding it the other way. I mean, just Garchomp alone, and like back in the day, Infamous didn't really know balancing and leveling Pokemon correctly. So I would have like Infernape is like 5 levels above like Staraptor, and then those two are like 15 levels above everyone else because they've been carrying the team on their back.
Yeah, yeah.
So it gets to a point where like the rest were sacrificial lambs, and then Staraptor and Infernape were cleaning up. But it was actually Infernape who got the finishing blow, knocked out the Garchomp, and I was like, oh my. It was such a great moment. But I want to add to this really quick.
Yeah.
There was an additional moment of when I encountered her in Black and White, and I walked in, and my heart stopped.
Ooh, Nundella Town, I think she's in,
That
right?
I
Yeah.
literally,
Whew.
everything in my body clenched up because I said, did not need you here right now.
Yeah,
Everything is going
yeah.
well for me. I'm good now, champ. I'm like, bro, I can't take you on. And the music starts. I'm like, nope, can't handle it right now. So, fun moment. But yeah, definitely facing Cynthia was probably one of my favorite Pokemon memories for sure.
I mean, back then she was a force. She was even more of a force because, like, what do you do against Spiritomb back then? You know what I mean? Like, oh, it was
You hope
dangerous
for the
back then.
best.
The
You hope
music
for the
sticks in your
best.
head. It's haunting. Every time I hear that theme now, I'm both like in awe and terrified.
So, quick question: how'd you feel facing Volo?
Like halfway through. So what I did whenever Pokemon Legends Arceus came out, I had two of my good friends. They came over and we just set up TVs in the living room. We grinded that game so hard, but we were grinding through that. And like halfway through, I was like, I do not trust this Volo person at all. And they're like, why? And I was like,
Mm.
he rubs me the wrong way. I don't like him. Like, I'm just not a fan of his character. And then at the end, whenever he popped up and the music coming back, the Giratina whenever it like falls backwards, you think you beat it, and it like rears back. I love that moment so much.
Oh, the theme is
So good.
remarkable.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
literally, so it took me, and I beat it with my base team. I didn't bring in any legendaries or anything. I used the team that I've been using for majority of the game so far. And yeah, I think I had 3 Pokemon left. I cleared it pretty well, taking down the first set of Pokemon. His music starts up. I love Volo's theme, by the way. It's definitely
Yes,
into like
it's
again one of my top
fantastic.
tens. Then obviously Giratina falls back. Like, oh, thank God! You're like huge sigh of relief. You're like, oh man, think. And then the music kicks up. I'm like, no,
Yeah, the way he
I'm not
leans
ready
back
for
into it
this. I'm
cracks
like,
me
I'm
up.
not ready for it. So I'm like tripping. I'm like, bro, this is not happening right now. There's no way this is an actual fight. But this right here, that battle, I was like, I need more of this. I need this
No, yes,
level of
game changer.
scaredness and intensity for the next game. I want to face like some more people and they'll be like, oh, you thought we were done? I'm like, huh? Like I want to be like concerned after like beating them the first. Like I'm excited. It was a great battle. But yeah, I was curious about that because I feel like that was a moment that really brought like the fandom together again. Like like oh, this was one of the
The
best
hype, the
villains we've
hype.
had in a long time,
Yeah.
which is interesting because like even though I like Leon's character, he wasn't as hard as I think he is, especially compared to the anime right now. I would have loved to see him be a little bit tougher, but it's fine. I'm fine. But Volo's a
Yeah.
threat. He's a
Volo
different
was good.
beast.
That like I just wish there would have been like psych come on the screen whenever Giratina came back up. The way it came back was so good. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
oh no. Like it's just clean. It's just so good. And I'm like you said, I'm hoping we see more of that in Pokemon. Kind of that like, next level. Like, oh, you thought the battle was over. It just like this is where the hard part starts. Like psych,
Yeah.
new form.
You're down to like your last 2 Pokemon, both are half health, and you're like, oh my goodness, you come back. I think it took me about 3 times to beat Volo.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because I wasn't expecting Giratina the first time around. And I was definitely not expecting it the second time in Shadow Force. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this thing is strong.
If you came
So,
in blind to that, like you hadn't watched anything, you weren't winning that first battle. Like I
oh,
didn't beat Volo the first time. There's no
no,
way you were beating that the first time. If
not
you
you weren't
like
expecting it.
yeah, if you knew, you could prepare. But like if you don't know, you're getting wiped. You're getting
And
smoked.
that was one thing too is Pokemon Legends is so different because you have agile, you have strong style. So I mean, if you go strong off the rip, Garchomp could possibly attack you 3 times in one, and it just
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's such a good battle, such a good character.
I don't know why my mind tied this in, but we were talking about Iris earlier getting a gimmick. Agile and strong moves would have been a fun gimmick for her to break out. Like her to be
Oh
like, I
yeah,
learned this from, like she's in an older style village. The like her people are the, people that live with dragons. It'd be cool if they were like, oh, we know a technique where I'm from. Like if you become champion, you learn this technique.
that would have been really cool. Like maybe she's like, hey, like Drayden told me about this. I learned it from the ancestors.
That would have
The
slapped.
anime misses out. The anime
That would have
misses out on
slapped.
so many things. It just really sucks that we can never be able to utilize any of the Legends things. When I feel like Legends it's such a impactful game, especially for jumping into Scarlet and Violet. We get to see none of that stuff transferred into any of the anime series or anything like that.
Man, that would have been a good idea. Either way, missed opportunities. It's okay. Alrighty, so we will go back to the trivia questions. You think you're ready to give the answers?
I think I am. I think I am.
Alrighty, let's see. Question 1. In Generation 3, we were introduced to Cast Form. Including its normal form, how many forms does this Pokemon have?
If I am correct, three.
You want to
Three
list them?
forms. If I'm correct, it should be. I don't know like the official names if they have official names.
Oh, it's
I
okay.
know it's like a fire based like sunny form, a water form, or like rain form or something like that. And then it looks like wind. I don't know if it's like flying type or if it's like a ice storm or anything. It's one of the two. I can't 100% confirm. Yeah.
So I'll give it to you. Including the regular, there's 4. Because there's
Okay.
regular, sunny, rainy, and snowy.
Okay.
Because that was
Interesting.
a M&J TV. He, has had a lot to say about there not being a sand form. He's had a
Yeah.
lot to say about that.
Because I also remember Lockstin made a video where he gave
Exactly.
it more forms. And actually, this was one design I scrapped. I actually was going to make a sand and poison form for cast form, and I decided not
Ooh.
to. I feel like I might, if there is a future project, I may save it for that. But
The
uh,
DLC, the DLC to your
yeah,
fan game.
yeah. I feel like it's cast form as a Pokemon to be better. I think it should have more forms. I think even though it's a little overpowered, a poison rain form or like a corrosion form, like that could be interesting. Like a really different pick. But
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
that could be something to do. But yeah, that was good. But yeah, go ahead and continue. Sorry.
You're all good. So here's the Sluglord question. What are the names of Shellos and Gastrodon's two forms?
So if I'm right, it should be the east and west forms, correct?
Yeah, correct. We'll give it to you.
Okay.
East Sea and West Sea.
Okay. East.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Question 3. There are 4 forms of Rotom that are not usable by the player character in battle. Can you name 2 of the 4 forms?
If I'm correct, that would be we could say bike form, bike Rotom, and drone Rotom, which is used by the Masters 8, to see battles and stuff. Hopefully that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, those 2 do count. So the bike one is interesting because it's like the Rotom phone enhances the bike, but I put that on here phone dash bike,
Hmm.
Pokédex form, drone form, and Rotomi from the Pokemon centers in Galar.
Oh
So
yeah, I almost
yeah,
that one I forget about because
yeah, that one's a tough one.
that was a tough one because you don't even need to go to Pokemon centers that often in Sword and Shield either.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I always forget to send Pokemon out on jobs unless I need them, and then I'm like, why are they still not on a job? But yeah, so question 4. The mythical Pokemon Shaman can unlock a sky form when exposed to a certain flower. What is the name of this flower?
If I am correct, the flower should be the Gris.
Yeah, you got it. Gracidia, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, Grissidia.
Gracidia
Okay,
flower.
there
Yeah,
we
it's the
go.
flower that like the little pink flower that's on it.
I only like barely remember it because of the quest line in Legends Arceus. I did do that so I could have Shaman, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Gotta have Shaman. But yeah, nice job. That was the one that I was like, man, he might get stumped on that one. Let's see. Let's find out. Nice job nailing it though. Alrighty, so last question. In the Neos region, there's a dark type Pokemon that can evolve into 5 different Pokemon based on what totem it's in contact with. What is the name of that Pokemon?
So as far as it goes, you have Spooked, which is going to be
There
the
you
big
go.
form, but I got you the full explanation because I'm proud of my boy, right?
There we go. Yeah.
Spooky can evolve into 5 different forms depending on which items you get, being the Diamond Stone, the Clover Stone, the Heart Stone, the Spade Stone, or the Unite Band, which will give you Pokemon such as Slowcast, Gimocast, Wagacast, Labicast, and I feel like I'm missing. Oh, Wagacast. There we go. And those are the 5 forms that you can get for that Pokemon.
There you go. Again, absolutely slaps. He is making such good content on Pokemon Calamity and Neos covering the anime. He talks about the games. He's covering anything. But to wrap up, do you have any parting words, any promotions, or anything that's coming up on your content that you want people to watch out for?
First of all, thank you for having me, man. It's been a great time chatting with you and
Yeah,
kind of diving
absolutely.
into different sides of Pokemon and stuff like that. As far as me, of course, right now we're talking and doing reaction to the Masters 8 right now. Journey is on a break, but in the following week of possibly when this podcast goes live, the Journeys will be back. We'll be diving into Leon versus Diantha, which will be cool or whatever. And then for me, just gonna be more Neo's content, just in between the Journeys content and those videos. But I am looking to launch my next project pretty soon, which is going to hopefully
Ooh,
be a harmonious combination of Pokemon anime and Fakemon. Something I can hopefully make do in due time. So we'll just have to wait and see for that one. Besides that, maybe some new merch coming. I know some people have been asking me for Neos merch. I've been really wanting to do like a Spooked shirt for a
oh, that'd
while
be
now.
fun.
I think it'd just be cool. Maybe like 2 versions, one with the actual Pokemon on it, and maybe another version where like it has his eyes and his mouth on the shirt instead. So I'm looking at some different options and want to get that
Perfect for
out.
Halloween.
Yeah, and that kind of works out for Halloween too. That way I can rep the region a little bit more in some fashion wear. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, it's a lot of exciting stuff coming up on your channel. A great content creator. I highly recommend. I want to thank you so much for being a guest on the show, Infamous. I I want to thank Jorge Benes for making an amazing theme for this podcast, and I want to thank all you listeners out there that have made it this far. We will be back with another episode in just 2 weeks, so make sure to follow the podcast and watch out for that episode. Until then, check out our past episodes and Infamous Trainer's channel, and most importantly, keep loafing around.